And the new arrivals range from anything like represses. This is Eugene McDaniel's Outlaw record, for instance, and also his Headless Heroes of the Apocalypse.
Okay. You can just put
Real
that in my
cool
pile. I'll take that one there, yeah.
John Coltrane record here. We've got The Clash's first record, a real classic. Donny Hathaway, great soul singer. An old Alice Cooper record, classic stuff. Cat Power, one of my favorite singers. Classic stuff like Kraftwerk. And the Meters, funky stuff. And then we've got a few used records, classics like The Who, Who's Next? The new MGMT, for instance. So a little bit of everything in that section. Recent arrivals. Continuing on, we've got some more equipment here. More new records. We carry both new and used records. Our little listening station here. If you see a record in the shop that you want to check out, you may not be familiar with it, you can put on the headphones and listen to it. In this section here, we've got a used CD selection. A little bit of everything. Our most recent arrivals are here, and then rock starts from A, goes down this side, and continues along the other side.
So what sort of dictates what you bring in terms of stock? Like, does a lot of your personal taste come into play, or do you just try to cover all the bases?
For new records, we're trying to cover all the bases of anything I think someone might come in and ask for. It's generally a little bit alternative, independent label stuff. Stuff that has a track record that we know we have fans of those bands or those artists, and they're probably going to come in asking for them. As far as older stuff goes, a lot of my personal taste comes in on that. Some of the things I just showed you, the Meters, the Clash, personal favorites. So I'm going to bring in stuff like that I also like, but also I think other people would like as well.
So when did you actually start the store here, and what was sort of the catalyst for that?
The store started in '96 at our first location, which was on 10th Street across from Lydia's Deck. We were there for 3 years. The catalyst for starting it was at the time I was working in advertising. I'd worked in advertising most of my adult life, and I was tired of it, to tell you the truth. And I'd saved up a bit of money from working in advertising, and I found in my last couple years in advertising, I was spending more time, say in my lunch hour or after work, hanging out in used record stores or record stores than actually wanting to do any work in advertising. So I finally clued in it was time to move on and do something that I was far more interested in, such as selling records.
I can probably relate to that passion too. So tell me some of your I guess more valuable or more obscure pieces that you've got here in the shop. Doesn't have to be necessarily right now at this particular time, but just over the years.
The most valuable record we've ever got in is a band called The Residents, experimental band from San Francisco. Their first album was called Meet the Residents, and it had a Beatles parody record. Only 1,000 copies were ever printed of it. And someone sold it to me, actually, and when I had no idea what it was worth, and when I looked it up on the internet, I found that it was worth $400. And I actually sold it on the internet for $400 to someone in the States. The reason that record's so valuable is because it had a Beatles parody. They had mustaches and stuff drawn on Beatles faces that picture was withdrawn on the subsequent pressings and never printed again.
Oh, interesting. I know that one of my most rare records actually is one that I picked up from your shop here too. One of the first cold cut and paste mixes that they put together. I remember seeing it up on your wall one day for, I think it was around $40, which I thought was kind of steep, but it was something that I wanted. And then I later found out that it was, I think they had only pressed 1,000 or something of that one up too. So after that purchase, you had definitely made a customer for life with me. So